Hey there gang, welcome to the Jackson Hole Maker Station. Today we're going to be installing some photo-etch windshield wipers on older Athearn ready-to-run locomotives, and this process would work for most other locomotives that do not have wipers that you want to replace the wipers on. To me, windshield wipers are one of those kind of standout things that just bring an extra level of realism to a model. Gotta be careful with these Athearn ready-to-runs because the dynamic brake housings come off. Do not trust them to pick up your locomotive. This is the newer edition of the ready-to-run models with the LED lights, the photo-etch wipers, the relocated gear tower in the rear truck so you don't see it in the radiator fans. And these have just about the same type of quality that Genesis locomotives had 10 years ago, with the exception of the cab interior. All the exterior details are on par with the older Genesis, and Athearn just keeps making incremental improvements in their line. The older ready-to-runs, of course, had no wipers, and to me that just is a standout easy to remedy detail that brings a whole nother level of realism. So today we're going to go through the process of installing photo-etch windshield wipers from KV Models. I have their card here. You can order them directly from KV, or I got mine off of eBay this time around, but I probably will not do that again. I got mine, I don't know if that's going to focus for you, but mine came in a nice padded envelope. I got multiple sets. They were taped down to corrugated cardboard to protect them, and you can acquire some for yourself at kvmodels.com. So before you get started, you're going to want to pull together a number of tools for this job. It is a fairly simple install, but there are some tools of the trade, if you will, that you're going to need. Very small drill bits. I'm using 78s because that's just the smallest that I had in my toolbox. These were purchased through Walthers decades ago, quite frankly, and they last as long as you treat them right and don't put too much stress on them. You're also going to want the classic number 11 X-Acto knife. The number 10 comes in handy for cutting photo etch from the sprues, because you can actually rock it across the gate, if you will. You can get by with the number 11, but you need to be very precise with putting the tip of that blade right on the gate to cut that out, whereas with the number 10, you can give it a little rock and a scissor action there. Speaking of cutting, you'll see I'm working on a self-healing mat here, but when you're cutting photo etch, you really want to be cutting photo etch on a hard surface like glass or a hard plastic. The reason for that is that if you're on any kind of a soft surface and you press the knife into the gate, they will fold in and curl basically as the self-healing mat gives way, and that just kind of distorts your photo etch and puts a bend in it that you most likely don't want. So on a hard surface, when you do that cutting, you get a nice crisp cut. The gates just come apart while remaining flat because there's no depression or anywhere for them to go. You're going to want several sets of tweezers. These are just, of course, to handle the small parts. I also have these larger paddle tweezers, which in a pinch make a good makeshift photo etch bending tool because they have nice flat surfaces on smaller parts. There's no reason to go to a full-blown photo etch bending tool. You can often get by with tweezers, or these paddle tweezers are great. Normal flush cut nippers. Some of the gates you can get to and just snip them right away with these things, although you have to be worried about a twist in the gate sometimes depending on what you're doing. This is my photo etch bending tool. I got this years ago from Paragraphics. It is photo etch itself. It comes in 3 pieces. You have to bend the hinges into position and assemble your photo etch tool, but I have used this for 99% of my photo etch bending needs for railroad, armor, all sorts of modeling. It's very simple to use. It's easy to store. It was, I believe, $15 or something ridiculous like that. And it's really probably most of what you need, or all of what you need for the vast majority of your modeling needs with photo etch. And of course, to bring it all home, cyanoacrylate glue. We are attaching metal to a dissimilar surface. Your normal styrene cements that work by melting your styrene parts together is not going to adhere metal to those. So cyanoacrylate, if you're working in confined spaces with photo etch, where you're going to get the cyanoacrylate fogging issue, you can always use a PVA glue or a canopy type glue that dries clear, but is an actual adhesive rather than a cement like styrene cement. So your normal Tamiya cements, your Tesser cements are not going to have any effect on the photo etch parts and are not appropriate for adhering them. Okay, so I put a little bit of black construction paint on my cutting board here, but I know it's still pretty busy with all the markings. Basically, you're going to take your number 11 or preferably a number 10 blade. You're going to locate it right on the edge of the gate where it meets the part, and you can just give it a quick rock, and that'll separate that right from there. And you just go around to each gate and repeat the process until your part comes free. You can use the nippers for this, but as previously mentioned, they occasionally will put a twist in your part, which is not desirable. They are very delicate. You don't want to put a twist in them. Sometimes it takes a few tries. Just be patient and work your way through. See, we just got them to pop up, and that piece is loose now. Okay, so we've got our windshield wipers all cut out. I switched to another camera here so we could zoom in. You could see these guys. They are tiny. The split wipers here are about the width of the diameter of a penny. Now we're going to have to fold these using our bender. Basically turn the wipers down as well as the mounting posts. Mounting posts are right here, of course, and then the wipers we're going to bend at a 90-degree angle towards the window. And the mounting peg is going to bend at a 90-degree angle towards the cab. Once that's done, we need to drill some holes for application actually in our cab, and then apply these with some cement. Now, because these are fairly simple bends, we're only doing 2 bends, it doesn't take a whole lot of planning in advance to make that work. But if you're doing a more complex build, where you're doing a 3-dimensional box or a cage, something like that, you sometimes have to plan your folds, the sequence of them, because you can get yourself in a box where you've created a bend and you can't create a follow-on bend because of conflict in your bender. But these will be pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm going to do that for my own mental health as well as to make it more observable for you guys. Wiper on my bender, and I'm going to do the installation peg first. So I'm manipulating it underneath my bender here with any luck, just like that, and I'm getting it right where I want it, where I want to bend it. I don't want to get these. It has like a double wishbone arm, just like an old school truck windshield wiper. So I don't want to get any of that, but I do want to get that mounting peg. And once I have it in there, I'm going to firmly hold down my guide, and I'm just going to fold. And then when I release it, my wiper, I'll put it back down here, and I'll take a still with the iPhone, but the wiper now has the mounting peg bent at 90 degrees. So now we're going to do the same thing, and it's actually kind of nice now because we have something to grab it by. And we're going to turn the wiper blade also towards the cab windshield. So same procedure. Sorry, I'm moving off screen there. We're going to manipulate it under there. Just the portion that we want to fold. And we align the guide with basically the fulcrum of where we want that fold to take place. Double check that everything's in alignment. And I have my mounting pole is sticking up because it's towards the cab, and I want my wiper to come up towards the cab as well. So like I was saying, this is one of these things where you're bending in the same direction on both folds, so you don't really have to do a whole lot of sequential planning. But there we go. Our wiper is bent up, and God, that thing is tiny, isn't it? Believe me, it is right there. I'll take some stills and attach to the video. So an important tool I forgot to mention, it's very hard to use these little tiny drills unless you have a pin vise to hold them in. And this is basically just an adjustable collet. It goes all the way down to basically nothing. But it holds your drills in place so you have a handle to use them with. Now this particular Athearn Ready to Run SD45T-2 has very well marked. It's basically got the scale mounting points for the wipers molded into the cab face. So this is an easy one to eyeball, put your holes in, just following that. Otherwise, on models that do not have that level of detail, you have to do a little bit of measuring or just eyeball the, like on the side windows, the center of the side window and maybe a millimeter above the glazing. And then you'll have to measure for the split wipers the holes in the center windows. But I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes in these and get the first one mounted and show you what the finished product looks like. Here's one of the wipers all folded and ready for install. You can see it gets that nice 3D quality with the blade and the post towards the window once you've properly bent them. Here's the straight wiper. I'm holding it by its mounting post so you can see with that folded over, it gets that nice 3D appearance, just like the real thing. All right, so I'm going to line up my drill right on that mount we talked about. It's molded in. It doesn't hurt to take a number 11, very sharp, brand new number 11 with a good point to keep it from slipping off and into your glazing like I just did. Basically like an infinity sharp point, and create a divot like you would with a punch on a piece of metalworking or what have you. That keeps just a little pilot divot for your drill bit to start out in so it doesn't stray off on you like my first attempt did. And then let the tool do the work, a little bit of gentle pressure, and just start twisting away. You'll start to see the drill shed the plastic as it penetrates, and I'll try and get that a little bit more vertical even though I can't see what I'm doing, so you guys can see what I'm doing. And before you know it, you've got your pilot hole. Okay, so I have pre-applied a little CA glue to my mounting stub, and I am just inserting it into the hole I just drilled. Any luck, it'll go straight in there. Almost did. And then I just need to adjust the angle. Of the wiper. And they don't all need to be uniform. These wipers operate pneumatic. But there you have it. First one installed. We just need to repeat the process for the double wiper, and then 1, 2, 3 other wipers around the cab, and we're done. And to me, that's a huge improvement to these already great, ready-to-run Athearn locomotives. Okay, so here's the finished product. All told, it took me just about an hour to get all 5 wipers installed. And you can see the ones in the back there. Same on this side. Again, when handling these guys, be very careful about using a dynamic brake housing as a pick point. But to me, that just adds so much more realism. It's super easy to do, super cheap to do. And one parting tip is when cutting your photo etch, it's okay and actually can prevent you having to chase them across the room at some point to put them on some masking tape with the adhesive side up, and then just put the whole gate and the sprue right on that masking tape. As soon as you're cutting into it, they won't launch on you. This is really thin steel photo etch, so I didn't have any issues with that. But if you're using thicker photo etch, they can actually launch because of the wedge of the blade. Anyway, that's it for Jackson Hole Maker Station today. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll get more videos posted soon. Take it easy, guys.